Good evening, Grace. Welcome to my live stream. Hi, I'm waiting for my people to come here tonight. We had Grace, our show producer, show up, and I want to welcome y'all to this live stream. It's called Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace. I've been doing this twice a night, 7 days a week, or twice a day, I should say, not night, night and day. I'm on at 10 o'clock Monday through Friday, a.m., and 8 o'clock on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I'm on every night of the week at 7 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. And it's a warm welcome. It's a warm welcome to have all you here. Now, it's a live stream shown around the world. I have right now a total of 26 countries, including the U.S., and over 3,050 people have talked to me on this live stream, either by calling in or texting me a message. There's several ways that you can interact with this live stream. One way is to text me a message. Now I'm going to put the banner up here. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Just text a message, either make it a question or a comment about CPS. Show me your first name and where you're from. And if you're from the United States, don't worry about putting the country. That's only for people outside the United States. They'll put their city and country. If they have a state, they can put that too, like Australia has states. And that's all there is, to text me a message. And I love to see them. I love to see them. Now, another way you can interact with this live stream is you can be a guest on my live stream. All you have to do is email me one of the 14 shows that you can pick from. It's easy. The times I gave you, by the way, were all Pacific Standard Time. I'm found on the West Coast of California, south of Los Angeles at Surf City, USA. I'm 2 blocks or 3 blocks up from the beach. And it's a hard thing that you're in with CPS. I feel for you. I've been fighting them for 15 years. And my attorney, his name is Vincent W. Day, has been fighting for 40 years. And he's been very successful doing that. And so as a guest, when you send me the email, make sure to include your name, your phone number, and your email. And then I'll forward it on to Grace, my show producer, and she will send you the link. It'll be on a banner, and you just copy and paste it into your browser. Just copy and paste it into your browser. Now, the rules are simple. We're respectful to one another. We do not use profanity on the show. And we certainly are concentrating on CPS. That's the theme of it. Also, we do not use the names of children, social workers, or judges. And we do not eat or smoke on the live stream. And that's it. And then that way you can talk to me. It could be 9 of you, with me makes 10. And we can talk about issues, your issues, and so forth. So that's all there is to be on the live stream. And lastly, I want to put my phone number up. It's 626-698-0990. And that's where you can reach me. That's where you can reach me. Now, hello, Only. I guess that's your first name. What part of the world are you from, Only? All you need to know is that. Nancy, you're from North Carolina. I have a question. This is kind of long, though, to explain it. If that's okay, it's okay. In fact, if you want to call right now, my phone number is up and you can call in. But we have Nancy from North Carolina. And we have Only from somewhere. We don't know where. But anyway, welcome, Only. And then we got Aaron. Hey, good evening, Aaron. Long time no see. Erin's very special because her birthday is a month after my daughter's birthday. They're the same age, same name. And her name is very special to me because that's my firstborn. And sadly, I don't get to see her. But anyway, hopefully one day I will. Hopefully one day I will. Um, anyway, we're here tonight to help one another to talk about CPS matters. And as I say, you can text in a question or a comment, or you can call in and talk on the phone, or you can set up your time to be a guest on my live stream. And those are several ways. Also, there's emojis. You can do thumbs up, smiley faces, hearts, and even stars for emoji. Looks like we got a call already. Great. Good evening. This is Bob Pace. Welcome to my live stream. And who do I have the pleasure of talking to? Yeah, hi, Nancy from North Carolina. Is this the first time? I'm sorry, my voice is kind of scratchy, but this the first time you're calling in?
Yes, sir. I've actually seen a bunch of Mr. Davis's videos online, and some of his radio, but it's the radio or podcast he does or whatever.
Yes,
I've seen a bunch of
yes,
those
yes.
online. I've
Right,
watched a
right.
bunch of his tape, and so that's where I'm getting the name from. I've been following you guys' channel since all this started happening. So, yeah.
Well, you're in special hands because there's about 5 people from North Carolina that are family here. You can make it number 6, but we have Dorothy Cook from North Carolina, and then we have a guy named Mark, a guy named Bruce, lots of people there. And so what I'm saying is that I already know that North Carolina actually has, boy, I think they have over 100 counties. I forgot the number there, but they have a lot of counties. California only has about 50. And it's not because of the size of the state. I guess it's because the density of where people are living, they have more than what. But every county will have a CPS entity with maybe a different name than CPS. I call CPS the Child Protection System, but maybe in your neck of the woods there may be a different name. So, what is it? Okay, DPS. Okay, DSS. Okay, that's good. I know in Prescott, Arizona, it's called DCS, and in California, it's called the Department of Children and Family Services for LA County. And and then in Richmond, Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. So whatever it is, it's all the same. It's where a government entity was created by an act of Congress in 1962, where they directed social service to form a group of workers, social workers, to protect our children from neglect and abuse. They're also supposed to do reunification, but that somehow has got lost in the translation. So it's like, well, that didn't help when President Clinton signed into law in 1997. That is the incentive law where they give $35,000 from the federal government to the CPS entity in that county for having a child adopted into foster care. They're trying to get away from reunification because that takes up too much time. It sometimes takes 1 to 2 years. Reason is one of the classes is a 52-week class. It's domestic violence, and they meet once a week. And so it takes long. So anybody starting out with family reunification, it could be 2 to 3 years. Mine was 3 years. So anyway, tell me about yours.
And just to be like completely candid, my husband passed away about it was 2024, August of 2024.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I really am.
He was really young, but I ended up meeting a guy. Like, I actually ended up. I started using drugs after I lost my husband because I didn't handle it well. I wasn't grateful about it.
Yeah.
And we're from a really small North
Okay.
the judges that we have that go back and forth with our counties go back and forth like between I think 3 counties, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's two. I know it's between 2 counties, but I think it's actually three. So everybody, my family owns a newspaper in this area, so people knew who I was, and anyway, that was years ago, and but in this neck of the woods, you never really lose your stigma. I don't think sometimes. I think that you just kind of once you always are kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we had my the guy that was now my son's father, and we had allowed a girl to come stay with us that we knew, and she had been in recovery, and we were kind of it's like the pay it forward thing that you're supposed to do. And she started seeing this guy. Well, we found out that the guy was on the sexual register. So we told her she had to go. If she wanted to continue seeing him, she could stay here. And it was a big fight between all of us, including him. And a day later, 2 days later, CPS showed up at my door. I was actually at work at the time. Chris was here with our son. And he said the worker came to the door. She had a training with her. She's like, I think we found out she's only been at her job like a year, not even. Not
Yeah.
even a year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she doesn't have children, so there's that too. But she's only been at her job about a year. So she comes up and Chris tells her what we've always said we would tell them, and this is something he and I discussed a long time ago because we had matter of fact the brain was living with a small circuit because of her drug use, right? So that was many years ago before her kids were grown, but still, we just know that we've been in trouble with the law years ago, we know that a lawyer is always the best option for us. Until we know what we're dealing with, we need somebody looking out for our best interest.
Right.
That's what we need.
Right.
We know that they're not. That's not what they do. And they're not even looking out for my child's best interest, I don't believe. So,
No.
Chris told her that when she came to the door. He came to the door and said that there were some allegations that had been made. Told him that what they had said, and it was about we supposedly were using drugs in front of my son.
Okay. Could you stop there for 1 second? Stop there. My question comes to you. Did you know that you don't need to, or did you know that you don't need to open the door to social workers?
We did that.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think he knew who she was. We have a peephole in our door,
Okay.
and we have a camera system, but the camera system was down. I think he just actually just went to the door and didn't even look.
Why do you
When
think he wanted to
opened
answer
it,
the
there they were.
door? Why do you think he wanted to answer the door?
I thought he could have been expecting somebody. I didn't really ask him about
Yeah.
why
Okay.
he answered the door. But like I said, we don't have a peephole. If he wasn't near the bedroom, he wouldn't have run in there to look to see who it was first because we're not suspicious people like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Well,
somebody
you
just
got
lowers
to
down your door.
because your door is like your castle, and when your door is closed, the drawbridge is up. And you don't know if
Well,
it's a shaky person that's going around stealing in the neighborhood, or it could be a policeman
that's
with a
true.
false alarm that thinks there's domestic violence and then they end up shooting you and killing you. It could be a social worker. It could be a lot of things. So my advice is that you never answer the door, and you only answer the door to people you know. And the way you can do that is have a special knock or a special ring. And
That's
you tell
exactly
your
right.
family members to do the same. And so, and if you do open the door, you can still get out of the mess by asking them, is this a legal matter? When the social worker says that she's got some allegations, you ask, he could have asked, or you could have asked, is there any legal, is this any legal matter involved in here? If the answer is yes, you
And
just
then they
say,
twisted what he did. He actually did ask for that. And
okay,
what she actually said was she twisted words. And this is what they're good at. And I'm telling you what, I can't wait to tell you what happened when she came back with the test part because it gets even better.
yeah,
But he did ask her about that. And her response to him was that she is required by law to make sure that our son is physically okay. That she needs to speak with him, and she's required by law after a disputing those allegations.
And you can say that also by law, the Constitution and the civil rights protects you. Yeah, that allows you to have an attorney with you at all times of a legal matter. And so what did she say?
Exactly what he said.
Okay.
He wanted to speak to an attorney before he continued the conversation with her further.
Good.
Right?
Good.
That's exactly what, yeah, we're not, look, we get it. We were not playing. This is our child. And so it ended up, what happened was, he asked us to back their car at the end of our driveway. She said, yes. He said, why? Are you asking me to leave? He said, no, I don't care what you do. He shut the door, right? Well, she turned around and walked away. Well, he does open the door just to see if she was walking away, because again, you couldn't see out my front door. And our puppy gets out. We have a puppy.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, but well, they're putting the puppy. Yes, she does follow, but we have, I believe in my mind, we have this on camera. Where she the dog runs out, they pat her and whatever. Anyway, he calls the dog, Brandon, my son, oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that. My son ends up running out and hollering for the dog to come back in. So he actually, at that point, technically laid eyes on him, you know, because he ran
Oh
out.
yeah, right.
So it was obvious. It was obvious that my child was not dead. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. You know, she laid her eyes on him. She thought it was fine. Okay. Well, so he called me first, and then she called me, and I told her the same thing. I said, look, she's like, well, I wish you guys would cooperate. I was like, listen, we're not trying to not cooperate. We're just trying to exercise our rights when it's attorney. And the last time I checked, that we weren't entitled to do that. I said, I'm trying to take care of my family. And a lot of this I exchanged with her text message because I was afraid to speak with her on the phone at length about anything. And I was hesitant about
Yeah,
that.
you're smart. You don't want to talk to them. You're right. And you have to say to them, it's not like I don't want to talk to you. If my attorney's present, I will talk to you, but my attorney's got to be present.
That's what I told her. And so 2 days later, or I'm sorry, I said 2 weeks later. Anyway, I know she came back again, and I think Chris told her the same thing again. Then she comes back on a Friday after 5 o'clock. Okay, and this is the important part. On a Friday after 5 o'clock, I'm actually home. And she shows up with 3 sheriff deputies.
Right. They always bring the
The
intimidations. Yeah.
Well, before I even opened the door, they knocked on the door, and I was on the other side of the door. I said, who is this? So I said, is this a civil matter or is this a criminal matter?
Yeah. Good.
And they told me it was criminal.
Okay.
It was a criminal matter.
Did you ask them if they had a warrant? Do they have a warrant?
I did. And
No, did they have a warrant?
They did. Right. That's where it got technical, because I had a friend of mine on the phone who had been dealing with CPS before, and he was the one who was like, just ask them if it's civil or criminal. When they said criminal, he's like, ask them if they have a warrant. They said court order signed by a judge, that an ex parte order. I have no idea what that was. Okay?
Well, that's why you need an attorney. That's why you need an attorney. That's exactly why you need an attorney.
And again, I tried to call they wouldn't even let me. They told me if I produced my son immediately, they could arrest me.
Well, did you read that? Did you read the court order? Did it say warrant on there and give specific directions of what they could do? Did that court order say that?
Yeah. Well, when I opened the door for the court order, they didn't even hand it to me until I let my son out.
Well, that's the whole thing. They're playing the stupid game. And it's 50%, and North Carolina is bad, and 50% of all the CPS out there are corrupt, and they do these games to trick you to take it because they have incentive. They want to make some money off your child. They want $20,000. Once they grab your child, they're going to get $20,000 a month. If the child has special needs, they're going to get another $10,000. And if that child's adopted into foster care, they'll get another $35,000. And it's really.
child that they take. She could not believe it. She had no idea.
Well, they
Like,
make it. It's $1 trillion business that they make at the government level. Billions are sent out to the state, and from the state, millions are sent out to the county. And it's unaccounted for money, meaning the money, there's nobody keep an eye on the money. Like right now in Richmond, Kentucky, there's embezzlement of over $1 million. 600 found from one social worker that was embezzling money. And so what I'm trying to say is that is the whole problem with the CPS. You got several things. One, they are very, very bad about the money part. There's no they're not in control. There's no board of directors or supervisors, or I mean, all they have is a director and a supervisor and some managers, and that's about it. And they will lie, and they'll come back and they will do all this stuff there, and it's like I've talked to over 3,051 people. Now you make my 51 person, but anyway, um, they all have said the same thing, whether they're in Indonesia or Bangladesh or India or over in over in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, or Libya, or over to the country of Africa where it's Liberia, Sudan, Republic of Congo, or Rwanda, Mozambique, or even the South Africa and its provinces. And then we go up to Europe, and we got the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, and then we got Germany, Denmark, and Sweden. Then across the pond to North America, we got Canada, its provinces, and then down to the United States. We got all 50 states have called in or text in, and we even heard from Washington, D.C. Then south of borders, Mexico, and then in Central America has been Belize, and then in South America, north of Brazil on the East Coast has been, um, oh boy, forgot the name of it, Grenada. And then across the South Pacific, it's been New Zealand, and then the land down under Australia and its states. So these people, along with all 50 states, have all said the same thing. We all have something in common, including myself, that we've encountered a rogue CPS, an entity that thinks about money and thinks about kidnapping and alienation than they are thinking about family reunification. And I'm so sorry that a lot of people hear that and they just can't believe. They just can't believe that that is coming down. And so, anyway, your husband was trying to do the right thing. He was trying to do the right thing. Now, that court order, the court order you got to be careful about because they use old warrants and they'll cut and paste and change the dates. Like you got to make sure the date was issued on a date that the court is in session. Well, court is not in session on holidays. It's not on weekends. It's only during the work days. So if it's a bogus, yeah, okay, all right. They do that purposely. Well, that's another reason why you don't need to open your door. You don't have to open your door at 5 o'clock. So, well, if it's no matter if it's CPS or criminal, you don't have to open it to policemen because they got to have a warrant out for you. They can't arrest you without a warrant. If there's a crime being committed, let's say you're beating a child with a broom handle, all right, and you're causing welts on the child. Well, if they come over and they hear all this commotion going on and a child screaming bloody murder, they're going to break in and they're going to arrest you. But if you're all quiet in the house and you tell everybody to be quiet and go to the back part of the house and wait for a while for them to disappear, then you guys get an attorney and be prepared. You can actually be prepared.
Yeah, I guess in hindsight, I guess that's probably what we should have done. But being the police make me nervous, the cops make me nervous.
Oh, they are intimidation factor. their intimidation
Yeah, they
factor.
was, yeah,
And too many people have
yeah,
been
and then,
killed answering the door. They've been shot and killed. A black woman, a black man. I'm not trying to pick on blacks, but it seems like a lot of them. One was in LA, one was in Florida. One was because they thought there was domestic violence, and all he was talking to his fiance, and he died on the phone, FaceTime, with his fiance listening on the other end. And that was sad. And so if that doesn't wake up people, that you got to be careful out there. You just can't, um, you really can't trust who's at that door. And so, anyway, if they
right.
have a court order and you read it and the date was
Yeah,
legit,
there's a,
but what
yeah,
did the
the
court
judge
order
was
say? What did the court order say? What did the court order say? To turn over
it
the
was an
child.
8-month. I don't verbatim, I don't remember, but basically it was, we didn't, honestly, I was starting to have me so frazzled. I just checked, mainly and initially checked, kind of just scanned it. I really did check the date, and I checked the judge who signed it, and I saw what time it was signed, because I knew to check all of that. But really, the rest of it, I just scanned it because I didn't really understand what it was. And now, let me tell you what it was that was giving me, and I didn't notice at the time.
Oh,
All it was giving me is the notice of a hearing that I needed, that to see if I needed it. There was sufficient evidence for me to produce my child for them. Okay. And there was a narrative. That's what they had. And there was a narrative attached to it, from the social worker saying that Chris had asked their leave and he had sent the dog after her. And all this and that, which none of that happened. None of that happened. And that we were being uncooperative. We refused to cooperate. I refused to get medical records. I refused anything. Only thing I thought it was
well,
it
you
was a
need
physical
to
break.
before she
And neither
asks.
one of us
Yeah,
refused to
but
cooperate.
once you have an attorney, let the
So,
attorney decide what to turn over to CPS.
right. Well, ready for you to do because that's what we messed up. But,
Yeah,
the first
that.
one was anyway. But that's what we messed up real bad. But at any rate, I had produced my son because they told me if I did it, they could arrest me.
No,
Which they couldn't. They
was
could
that
not
on the
arrest me. They
court
wouldn't
order?
arrest me.
Was that on the court order?
No, no, it absolutely was not. Maybe in the hindsight being 2020, but like I said, I scanned it, but I didn't know. It takes me a minute to honestly read legal jargon, and my
Oh,
mind was
that's why you need to
everything
have
was
an
coming out
attorney.
instead.
That's why you have an attorney. And the easiest way to get out of the whole thing is don't answer the door. They can't break down the door
Exactly.
unless you open it. And they won't come in unless there's
Yeah,
danger to the child. And they can't do the warrant if you don't see it. If they're outside with the warrant or the court or where they want to call it, it's like if you don't see it, you got to have your attorney present. And they don't want to hear that because they don't want to,
no,
they
they
think,
didn't want to hear that. They
yeah.
refused to let me call the attorney's office. I even had a cell phone number for the attorney. They refused to let me call until I produced my son. They would not let
Wow.
me get my son. It was, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't even believe you're going to deny me the right to call
Well,
anybody and see what I'm about
what you
before
need to
you.
do is you not answer the door, and that's the only way. Once you've answered the door,
Correct.
you've given permission to get in your home.
Yes.
See, once you've
You
answered the
have to
door,
interview them, but
well,
they didn't have to interview.
yeah, but they will because they think you open the door gives them
Oh,
permission.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah, I'm
but,
just saying this for all our listeners out there because it's very important. The listeners here that might
yeah.
be in a similar case, don't open the door to police. Don't open the door to social workers. And if you don't know who the person at the door, don't open it. There's so many
And
home
I had known that
robberies.
was a wonderful piece of advice.
Yeah, and there's so many home robberies and home killings. I mean, a lot of the
Yes, we've had evidence that
politicians.
even has
Yeah.
happened. So, that
So you got to
yeah,
think of your home as your castle.
right.
Right. Now we have one person in the room named Erin, who's from Tennessee. She's about 45 minutes away from you. She lives in Asheville, near Asheville, North Carolina.
I used to live in Nashville.
Yeah. Anyway, she's just
And I
saying
moved back.
hi. Yeah, she's just saying hi. And she talked this morning about her case. She had lost her first two to a permanency.
In that area, one of my last years, I had some friends in that area, and they had some problems with CPS out that way too.
Yeah.
They're really, they're from what I understand.
Okay, I have
But
another one of my family here. They are called I Hear You. And I forgot I Hear You where you're from. I think I Hear You is Andrea, and she's from Chicago, Illinois. But so many of these people have so many different handles, it gets hard. It really gets hard. So that's why, but yours is easy. It said Nancy, and you said North Carolina right away. So that worked out
yes,
good
sir.
there. So now that they've gotten your child, and they have your
Right.
first appearance, did they, during before your first appearance, did you have a planning meeting where the child's going to stay temporary, like maybe with a relative or with a family friend?
No,
Did,
we have an all camera. We have all recorded. Just this morning, I could break this phone out and record the entire thing. So we have just about all. Um, I let her take my son to her vehicle, which was all the way down to the end of my driveway, and interview my son by himself. Okay, I didn't have to, but I said I had to. They would take you to jail. And one of the deputies, as we're sitting there, and I'm just curious, I'm trying to call an attorney, I'm calling, and I'm getting an answer. I'm hearing my husband, my son's father was talking to one of the deputies, and he asked why that they felt they need to bring 30 deputies with them to hear. He was like, well, because there's two of you. He's like, right, there's two of us. Why is there 3 of you? He's like, I think that doesn't that sound like a little much? And he said, that's right, he said, he would love about how each time he is in by, because there had to be more than one was there. So 3 seemed excessive. And he said that one of the officers was trained. And then he said that he made mention that he had been hearing about our case all week long, or all week long. And we kind of looked at each other. So I'm assuming if I were to accept all of the gambling person, I would probably bet that he was dating the sexual worker. And that is how he knew of our case all week. That's how he knew about all of our case all week long.
yeah.
Chris has me on it. He comes back with my son. My son told us absolutely not. We don't do that stuff. That's what he told us.
What was the danger? They're only supposed to take children if they're in danger. So what danger was your son in?
That's where this gets bad because of the attorney. So we still have this moving court date. So we didn't hire an attorney. And she told me that day, by the way, and we heard this on recording, there's no reason for her to take him from me. That she has no reason to take him. So he's staying here. And I said, I know you don't have a reason to take him. I know you don't. And she specifically said that and left. Well, then from June until when did we go to court? July.
Well, what about the temporary placement of your child? Didn't you have that meeting that's supposed to take place the first week to decide where your child will stay? They denied that?
See, we didn't have anything like that. What happened with us was when we went to the first court date, it got continued. Chris saw me speaking with in front of the judge that day. He had a good rapport. So Chris with the judge, so Chris was like, let's fire him. And I was okay with that. But we did. We were paying him. He told us, this is what he told us. I'm not even kidding. And I still kidding with it. He told us just to go along with it, do what they asked us to do. If they asked us to take a drug test, do it. We're like, but wait a minute. They're trying to figure out what her reasoning is for, like, what's the evidence that we need to get in on it? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what we wanted to know. What's the call, other than a phone call? Because it wasn't a phone call by the school or by physicians or by anybody in building. It was somebody to somebody, excuse me, not us, they called, you know? And so that was our whole thing. was very first time he came before us, and I was there. He said they asked it all the whatever the PC and the anything they had set forth up until that point, and he would just leave it as it is. And he said, I wouldn't think domestically that I don't have any idea about anything going on in this case. He's like, I don't even know. I haven't heard anything in this case. He's like, I wouldn't say I wouldn't dare change any of it, but because he was the one that signed our ex-partner. So how did he not know anything about our case? We didn't understand that. And then he proceeds to say that he looks at me and he's like, I was friends with Miss Nova's family. I was more of her parents' age, which is not true. He is 5 years older than me. We were in NYS together, going all the way up through school. We went to parties after he went to college. He would come back here somewhere and we would go to parties together. He was my mom's guardian ad litem for having competency hearing, and his mother was my wedding partner. So I say that to say that he just knew my parents would not be very honest on his part, because it wasn't honest on his part. And so I didn't feel like he should be here in the case, but they didn't say anything about it. And he kept saying that there's no reason he shouldn't be able to hear it. So anyway, after all that is said and done, when the lawyer doesn't go to court for the judge signs an order that we have to drug test, and we have to get the back and forth. And we get to drug test and let the do the hundred. Well, we were supposed to go to the places to take our drug test, but we wanted to talk to our surgeon because again, he didn't show up for the court. So we're trying to get a hold of him because we were really trying to still fight it, like, because we were just like, wait a minute, what's the evidence? Like, why do we have to do this? I thought walking up to a stranger on the side of the road saying they have to take a drug test. And the day we went to court, we got the drug test because we were again trying to fight it. So the judge decides to call probation up, right? And the drug test. Now, I didn't know anything about anything. Understand that at this point. I didn't. Looking back now, I can't believe I was naive about all of this. But when probation gets there, they pull cups out of their pockets. Now, these cups are not in a bag. These cups are not sealed. I don't even think mine had a lid. I don't know if mine had a lid on when they put it on. Anyway, at any rate, so we take the drug test and we say, we take the drug test and amazingly we fail for everything they accused us of. However, what's weird is that I'm on 2 different medications, okay?
All right.
My medication showed up. And they should have. And they didn't know that I was on this medication though. They had no idea because I hadn't had to go take the drug test, so I didn't do any information. So but then we find out the next day that a guy that had probation picked a fit because he had failed, he had lit up his drug test too, and they didn't violate him because he picked a fit because they were getting these cups out of a big cardboard box that some of them had lid, some of them didn't have lid, none of them were sealed, and that's when he took their drug test in, and my sister who's an RN told me how easily contaminated those cups can get. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The drug testing facility was only 5 minutes down the road from us. So we don't understand why we didn't get sent down the road to get drug test and come back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, because they give you the results right away. But none of my medications did I pop positive for, and I should have. That's what's crazy. And I didn't. And then, like, that was, and I'm trying to tell my attorney, our attorney let us take these drug tests up while he was sitting right there. And he didn't say what. And then I'm telling my attorney when we get to the court and they're reading my book out loud in front of everybody, I'm telling my attorney, I'm like, that's not, no, this isn't true. Like, this isn't right. And he told me, he shuts me. And I couldn't do it. I didn't know what to do. I mean, it felt like, well, we're talking. Like, I didn't know what to do. And so I did nothing. And he called. The judge said, we'll come back in a month. Everything can stay the same. But that's when they took our son. And it was supposed to be one day with us still staying at Christian grandmother's and with our son there, like we had been. But then it changed from that in a matter of minutes. As soon as our son left, they started changing everything.
Why did your attorney leave? Why did your attorney leave?
I don't know. I don't know. He was
Well,
being
was this somebody you
so
hired? Was this somebody
okay.
you hired, or was this a court appointed? Was this somebody you
Yes,
hired?
yes, yes.
So you had a legal contract with that attorney. If they left, you could file a complaint against the state bar against their license. You could also sue them for negligence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I was
boy.
and so it is not one court date he did not show up for us on, but two court dates he didn't show up for us on. So when all was said and done, but he got out of there as soon as our thing was over. After he went in and he was going to be what the rules were going to be, then it changed 5 minutes later after he left. It changed it from all the time with the maternal grandmother with our son, so we had to leave at nighttime and we could come, so we couldn't be there till after he was up in the morning or whatever, but we could be there until the time he went to bed. I mean, I had to leave. And then 5 minutes later, it changes to about an hour later. We couldn't be there at all, and they're going to take him and put him in at his paternal grandmother. I'm sorry, the first place he was saying he was great grandmother. We were at his great grandmother's house.
Okay.
He took him to his paternal grandmother's house. Is where they took him. And thank God that where he is was not in foster care. Thank God. But I'm trying to tiptoeing around all the rules because that's what they want. We feel like it's for us to break the rules, you know. But since that has happened, we've only been to court one time, and we found an attorney out of Raleigh that it doesn't really expensive. There's like $7,500. We give them 5,000. We give them 5,000 so far, but we're trying to still pay them off before we take our case over. And so we actually looked up a CPS, somebody that was their specialty. That's when we ended up Raleigh. I need to know about that. But that is the law firm we chose out of Raleigh. And she has Miss Susan was she has wonderful. I mean, she has impeccable credentials from what I've seen, but just kind of like I said, that's a lot of money for anybody to come up with because we feel like we should be able to fight it. And I guess that's my first. And she told us is because the social worker had told my son's father that she would have the part about the dog chasing her stricken from the record, which she never did. She never had any of the dogs stricken from the record. And also, too, the attorney said that they mentioned that in the pre-adjudication papers and the drug test in the pre-adjudication papers that we had grounds to fight. So that's kind of, I guess that's mainly my question, like, do you have any suggestions?
Okay. What is your question?
We are just
What is your
like
question?
about what would be the best way to go with that. Like, he dropped? There's a word said last time he dropped.
Well, unless you have an attorney, under contract working for you, you're not going to get those things done.
I know that's what I
That's what
understand.
the
I mean,
attorney is supposed to do. Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. Now, when you go looking for an attorney, did you look for one that is is trained and educated in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law? Do you look for those three? Okay, good. That's very important. Do you also find out if they had fought CPS and won children getting back? That's another part of your question. And then, last but not least, another question is that have they ever done a civil lawsuit, either in state court or federal court, win money, not millions, but win money back against CPS? That's your second part of that question. A lot of people forget that. And see, well, that way you know that they're a fighter. If they have never sued CPS, they're afraid of CPS. They're not going to fight, even though they may have gotten kids back or stuff like that. The real good attorneys are the ones that do the civil lawsuits. And I'm talking about lots of money. Well, you need another attorney to do that. You can file a complaint to the state bar, and say that they did not perform under your contract. Now you have a picture of the document. You have the document that you signed with them, right? Well, when you hire an attorney, they ask you to sign a bunch of papers. I don't know how many attorneys you have. How many attorneys have you had?
We only had the one.
Okay.
We had the one in the beginning that didn't show up, and then one in the process of trying to finish paying off the retainer for the second attorney. That's it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you got had.
The one that complained was the first one.
Yeah.
Being that you were doing the next, being that you we had discussed doing CPS. We had discussed that. We didn't know how to go about doing that, though. But we had discussed doing that and showing this time year love, but we didn't know how to go about doing any of that. And what attorneys to even look for that did that. I didn't realize, like now I hear what you're saying that about CPS, like if they found one, but they also sued CPS and they're not scared of CPS. So that made a lot. I didn't know to look for that. I wish I had known that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really good.
So where you so your child was kept by your grandmother. That's where you had it temporary. Uh, put your child. Okay. Well, that's better. That's better than foster care. That's better than foster care.
We're fine with that. I mean, to an extent, but we get to see ourselves just once a week, and it's ridiculous. We shouldn't be where we are, and it's not right, and they shouldn't be like, they do this to so many people, especially people that they don't think can afford to pay for an attorney, because let me tell you, the public defender that they got to be was probably 12 years old. Okay, she was very nice, but when she came up to me, I thought she was an assistant or something, but she was not. She was one of my attorneys. So let me tell you, in this county, they sold. They're all in together, including the attorney we got the first time. They're all, I swear I think they are, because the attorney we got the first time gave us terrible advice. I mean, terrible advice. At this point, I was caution people to maybe step outside of their county to hire an attorney, because nobody lives here, and it's not good. They have each other's back, and they're not gonna fight them here.
Okay. Right. I wanted to tell everybody out there that's listening right now that we have Nancy from North Carolina on the phone talk about her case. And in the room, we have Aaron from Tennessee. And we've had I Hear You from Andrea from Chicago, Illinois. And we have a person named Hoy. Hi, Hoy. I have no idea where you're from. It'd be nice if you tell me, Hoy, where you're from. Some of you come in here and only want you. Hi, all. I think that one is. I get so confused when you guys use different handles. It's hard for me to remember a name like John, Mary, or Bill, let alone worry about Hoy or Funny or I don't know you or. It's really hard to communicate that way and try to remember them. But anyway, I do have people that are listening. I've had 2 emojis, which are great. I had Andrea Frasquez, who I think she's been on before, and Radolph Acton. And thank you very much for the likes, the thumbs up. That's really good. I'd love to have those emojis. Well, we don't seem to have too many questions from the audience. We do have Nancy, who's very thorough what she talked about, but she looked like she was taken advantage by the system, which is sad because. So, where are you at now with your case? Have you completed the plan? Do you have a reunification plan?
After court, it was funny because they acted like that day that they already knew what it was going to be when we went in, and they messaged me the day before saying that the long-term social worker said, my boss would like to meet with you and your son's father tomorrow after court to discuss the plan. And I told her, no certain terms without speaking to any more social And
Right.
she and I, we in the beginning, we decided to do this text, and I told her that was the only way I was going to communicate with the text. And I was proud about it. Don't misunderstand, because it's not our fault at this point. This is a whole new social worker we're dealing with. But
Yeah.
when I told her that we weren't probably going to do that because court was probably going to be continued, because we didn't think our attorney would be able to make it. We didn't end up speaking with them at all. The Narwhal did come up to us and ask what law firm we had hired, and we told them, because they told me that I could tell them that I would retain them, even though I still have to pay off the rest of the retainer, but before they'll actually do anything. But yeah, that's really all. We haven't nothing. We're nothing because I want to fight it. I don't think it's right, and I don't think that we should have to go jump through all the hurdles when this was. I mean, I don't care if I have to take a drug test once a week. That's fine. I'm good. Let's do it. But I'm not doing all this nonsense because this never should have happened. Like this was very like. I mean, from what I understand, those drug tests that they put in that program that they aren't even admissible in the state of North Carolina. So how they're allowed to do that, and God knows how many times they've done it before to other people. And I guess what we're trying to do is, it's not that we have all the money in the world to fight CPS because we don't. I assure you, not even close. But we're a lot better off than some people in our situation have been, and we're to the point now that we know that people have lost their children. I mean, if we lost our child, and I can only imagine how many people have had the exact same thing happen, and yet we go to the court appointed attorney and couldn't fight CPS here. And it's like, I know that we can't change the rules for everybody, but I feel like we should make a statement. You know, does that make sense? Like, is that stupid to think that? I mean,
No,
that's
it's
just how
not.
we
It's
look at
not.
it.
It's
We feel
not.
like
It's not. It's not. It's not.
I just feel like it's not right,
Yeah.
and because I know they take on people that, don't have a lot of money. And I know this. I've heard stories, I hear stories all the time. If you don't have a lot of money, man, they will rob you hard. And, there are children out there that really do need help, and I just don't understand. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get how they have so much power. I really don't understand it because it seems like they have all the power. And I don't know. Like, it's been a mess for us. I mean, like I said again, we don't know. As far as attorneys go, I mean, again, if you know of any good recommendations in the state and through and through, I will happily put my retainer fee with them. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not well versed in it. I just don't know. I didn't even know to look for the CPS, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't make all the sense that
that is why I try to give out all this information. There's something else a lot of people don't know, that you can get legal insurance that will pay
right,
for your retainer. It's just like your pet
right.
insurance or life insurance or car insurance or homeowners
Are you serious?
insurance. Yes, there's legal insurance. A lot of
I
people
never heard
forget
of
that.
that.
Yeah, I know. It's not
Oh,
legal Zoom. There's
and
legal
it's called
Zoom.
what? It's called
Yeah.
legal.
Well, there is. There's one that's
What's the name
called,
of it again?
it's legal insurance, and
Oh,
it would cover your retainer if you got DUI. It'd cover that. You got to pay a premium though. You got to pay a
okay,
yearly or a
yeah.
monthly premium, but it's affordable. I mean,
It's
it's
legal insurance.
yeah, it's called legal
Hang on.
insurance. You want to have legal insurance so if you do get a case in CPS or in case in a criminal matter, that you can hire an attorney and the retainer is covered underneath that insurance policy.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea that was the thing.
Yeah, that's a life
Oh,
skill that I've been telling
oh man.
people for the last couple of years. They forget about it. So there's something else you learned tonight too, that you can get legal
Oh
insurance.
yes, thank you. That really takes. You have no idea how much of a weight that takes off my shoulders. Like, you really have. I mean, because I didn't know what it was. I mean, it was a big get together process. You know what I mean? Like it really was. Like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen, but I just didn't know how it was gonna happen. So you have no idea how this was for this information. Wow, this is more than I expected.
Yeah, I understand.
Uh,
I'm
it is.
sorry to tell you now, but
It was. I mean, you're
well,
right.
it's like not
You
opening the
know.
door is things that people didn't know, and also not let them take your children and not let them them search the home. And so there's lots of things you can do that people don't know until they talk on my show or I tell them there. So that's why I'm here, is I'm trying to help you with the simple things. And so it is hard. It is so hard that you're going through this. And so when's your next court date? When's your next court date?
December, this year, for the 19th, because they normally only have it 1 day a week, but he told everybody else the 18th, but told us the 19th, which was strange. But,
Well, you better, do you have it in writing? You got to go check in writing. You have to go to the courthouse, go to the clerks, and check the calendar at the clerk for that courtroom, and they'll tell you when your next hearing is. You got to see it in writing. You don't trust people. They lie. They lie. So you don't trust people. Well, they lie. See it for your own eyes in writing, or ask for a copy from the clerk in the courthouse. Now I just looked at my clock now, and I didn't realize we were having such fun talking about your case. We've gone past 8 o'clock, so I definitely have to end my live stream. That's okay, no problem at all. And that's probably why all the people left in the room now. Some people say, "Oh, it's 8 o'clock. You can be ending there." But I really want to thank you, Nancy, and I can hear your husband in the background to try to help you there. But I don't want you to be a stranger. You're part of the family. You can call back twice a day, 7 days a week. I'm here, and so you know. Well, yeah, but it's okay to call back and get help. You need, yeah. Go ahead. Right. Right. Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, well, right. Well, thank you, Nancy from North Carolina. Thank you, Hoy. I don't know where you're from, but you came on tonight. I hear you. I think it's from Andrea from Chicago, Illinois. Aaron is from Tennessee, and thank you. You talked this morning, Aaron. And then Only Want You. I have no idea where Only Want You is from. But those are the people tonight that called in. So I'll be on again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. And again, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So I'm here, and I will definitely help you with your case and what you got to do, what you're not supposed to do. And if you want to know about what ICWA, the 1970 Act of the Indian Child Welfare Act, I can talk about that. I can talk about a 388 motion. I can talk about depositions. I can talk all kinds of terminology and all kinds of things. And so I have a lot of experience, a lot of life skills. I have things like you get legal insurance. I can tell you how to look it up and how to find it. And I found one policy that's $365 a year, like $1 a day. And to me, if I had to pay a $365 for legal insurance, I think that's a good deal. So anyway, I want to thank you again, Nancy, for taking the time to open up your case. I want you to wish you good luck. Also, for the rest of you all, I want you to keep fighting for your children. Don't give up. They're precious. Your family's precious. Come here first. Talk to me first. All right. And so I'll see you all then tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. There's a short video that'll follow. I'm going to put, um, I'm going to put, well, shoot, I got something on the screen that I don't know why it's there, but I'll take that off. I'm going to put I'm going to take my phone number down because it's too late to call. It's already after hours. And I'll put the Doge. Doge is at the federal level of how to resolve your case. There's a website, 2 phone numbers. They do work. Area code 202 is the White House, and an email that you can send stuff to. So With that being said, again, have a good night. God bless you. And please watch the video. It's Bob Pace.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.